But we have Darish still on the line. Can you hear us, Darish?
I sure can, Matthew. How are you?
Wonderful. Well, I was just going to open the window wider if you couldn't hear us, so maybe you could hear us that way. Well, Darish is the president and CEO of the Consumer Credit Management Services. And tell me if I'm not saying this right, Darish, but you're one of those cool agencies that the Department of Housing and Urban Development gives money to help people with credit problems, right?
Credit problems, housing problems, all sorts of financial difficulties.
So home ownership, credit counseling, personal finance, community stuff, all that stuff, right?
Absolutely.
Well, actually, but today we're going to go like the basics of how to deal with your credit card debt, right? So take us through this. We have some slides with you, too, that you sent up. You know, Darish is a working fool, man. You were doing this. You're setting up for this little radio show, too, so thank you so much. So
it's never a problem. Thank you.
Okay. So where do we start, Darish?
Well, there's 5 tips that I do a lot of public speaking and classes as it relates to consumer credit and how consumers, some steps that they can take right now to get their credit score moving in the right direction. So there's 5 basic tips. One of the first things you need to do is review your credit report annually. And I know that a lot of consumers, they see the commercials for freecreditreport.com, which, by the way, is not actually free. But the Fair and Accurate Credit Transactions Act entitles every consumer a free or a free credit report from the 3 major credit bureaus once every year, and this is absolutely free. And where you go to get that is annualcreditreport.com. If you're not going there every 12 months to review your credit, you're doing yourself a disservice. You've got to know where you stand before you can put together a plan. Second, make sure you're paying those bills on time. See, this is essential. 35% of the credit score is looking at payment history. Your ability to keep those payments made on time, every time, all the time. That's the number one way you can truly get that score moving in the right direction. Third, keep your credit card balances low. The rule of thumb is 1/3 of the available credit. So if you have a $1,000 available credit, you shouldn't carry any more than a $300 balance on those cards month to month. Anything more than that, and it starts to work against the score. And 30% of the score is looking at that. I would also suggest, on number 4, don't open too many accounts too rapidly. In fact, only open new accounts as you need them. Opening a lot of new accounts at one time lowers the average length of credit history, which works against the score. 15% of the score is looking at that. Only as needed. That's very important to remember. And if you need any help with any aspects of this, if you pull your credit report, you don't actually understand what's going on, or you're having trouble putting together your own plan, contact a nonprofit credit counseling organization, someone like me that can sit you down for free or extremely low cost, look at your credit, give you an action plan, and set you on the path to success.
Well, that's amazing. Let's see that next graph, okay? Show the next graph of Darish's there, but yeah, that's pretty.
And that's the credit score graph. Basically, those 5 tips that I discussed to improve your credit, it's based on this credit score. This is a FICO score graph, and FICO, of course, is the most commonly used score in the industry.
So this is how important each of those things are to your credit score, right?
Absolutely. And as you can see, payment history and amount owed.
Huh? And amount
owed,
that's
two biggies.
it. And then length of credit history, new credit, 10%, and types of credit. Another
and types
10%.
of credit is your ability to manage a diversified portfolio of different credit accounts.
Well, the next slide. Let's show the next slide, because this to me was the best, man. Man, you know what? I saw this slide, and what you said, I went there yesterday morning, and I put in my information, got my credit report here. If you put that back, the camera on me, I got my credit report. Here it is, and it took me about 3 minutes. That was it. I never did that in my life. I had no idea. and I'm the financial expert.
Don't. Yeah, A lot of consumers don't know where to go, Matthew.
Yeah.
It's really great that you're providing this information to your listeners.
Because, I mean, all I knew was I'd have to call freecreditreport.com, and what I was thinking, I know maybe it's free, but, they're going to get my name and beat the hell out of me with something,
Absolutely.
if they're giving me something for free. So, but now you're saying it's not even free, because they're going to sell you stuff, they're going to do, but this was painless. I went right in, and I did the first one, and I got the Experian. I guess I could get one for each one, right?
Absolutely.
Right. So I just got
it's free every 12 months. It's
I know.
absolutely
It's
free.
wonderful. All the stuff is in there. Stuff I didn't even know about, it is in there. It's terrific. But it doesn't have my credit score. Does that come somewhere else, or does it matter at this point?
And credit scores you're not going to get for free from annualcreditreport.com. But generally credit scores you do have to pay for. But if you go to creditkarma.com, creditkarma.com, you can get an experience.
No, I'm a bad speller, as some people know. Karma.
Yeah, hold on. Let me.
Got you too, huh? See, but I flunked English in college.
It's
CreditKarma.com. Okay.
And at creditkarma.com, you're always going to get a free credit score there. So if you need a free credit score, go to creditkarma.com. It's guaranteed free.
Wow. So I can get my whole credit report and see all the stuff on there and that everybody else sees. And I actually see who's asking for my credit report, right?
You'll see the inquiries, yes. Yeah. And another thing, just a quick note about inquiries. The inquiries work against your score. So if you're in the market for a major purchase, it will help to contact the credit counselor. There are some inquiries that can count where you can do multiple within a specified time period, and it will count as one inquiry. But you've got to understand what that time period is. Too many inquiries work against your score, so be aware of that.
I see. Now, who do I contact to tell? Like if I'm buying a house and trying to finance it, and I mean that's what I saw was the people, because I just refinanced my house. I saw all those people asking for my credit cards and stuff, my credit history. So would I contact the Experian people, or who do I talk to if I'm going to do something?
You can contact the credit bureaus directly. They actually have online services where you can get some information. But your best bet, if you really want to speak person to person with someone who, a counselor that's diversified, they know about lending, mortgage lending, credit cards, credit scores, I would suggest you contact a HUD-approved nonprofit credit counseling agency like ours.
Right.
Right. Absolutely.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, now let's see. The credit. I just think this is terrific. I never did. I don't know why I've been advising people on credit. I never did it myself, and you made it so easy for me, Darren. It was just wrong. Let's put up that last slide again, so people get the websites there.
Sure.
That's
feel
on
free to
number
visit our
5.
site. And I believe I also have our toll-free number on that slide for your listeners as well, your viewers as well.
I'm back on the one with the credit reports. Now, what's the difference if I go to the annual? I went to the annual credit report, and it looked like I get them all there, right?
Sure.
Okay. Now, the other ones you have, the other 3 are as if I just want to go directly and get them individually from there, correct?
Well, when you go through the annual credit report portal, it guides you into those 3 credit bureaus' websites through that portal.
I see. So I'm going to the other 3 by going to the first one, correct?
Absolutely. And it's through that first portal is where you're going to get that guaranteed free report.
Okay. Now the next slide. Now I didn't put up your last slide. I wanted to show your website, so I put your website. But give us your 800 number. We're looking for you. Okay.
Sure. The 800 number is 800-473-3328.
So that's 473-3328. And
that's correct.
You could get free, beginning counseling and, go over that report with somebody. And there are other services that you charge for, right?
And a lot of our services are most of them are free or low cost. Yeah. We offer debt management programs, student loan counseling and consolidation, foreclosure prevention counseling, bankruptcy counseling. We're a full service agency.
Well, again, let's do it again. We'll do one of the others. Maybe student debt. We'll do or the reversible mortgage. No, what do you call that? For seniors selling their house or
the reverse mortgage.
Reverse
yes,
mortgage, right. That
yes,
those kind of issues that we all come with because this is great information. And thank you for getting my credit report.
You got it. And Matthew, you've got my number. You call me anytime.
You bet. Okay, thank you so much, there. Okay, watch this.
Thanks a
We'll
lot.
be right back.